Captain's log, stardate 7.23.21. Captain Dying Tickles. Been waiting my entire life for this posting. I'm in command of the DTBW Snoogens of the Colonial Union. Our mission is... I don't really know. Let's go find out. But first, let's explore this ship. So this is the bridge of Snoogens. It's classified as a heavy attack vessel. So we have a heavy shield generator, standard jump module, Roland reactor, hull 2 generator, hull plating, captain's chair, no extractor, electromagnetic sensor, different processors, warp drive programs, sensor dish, 2 weapons turrets, a main turret, no nukes. You have a tracker missile, some room for some auto turrets, that's nice. A lot of cargo space. And some basic thrusters. Let's hire some crew. Alright, so this is the science station. We have sensors. Oh, getting in my way here. Repair depot, automated trading station, and a warp station are on sensors. We can also communicate with each of them. Our computer, we can search our different sectors here, which will give us some basic information. Some programs that we have, and I believe this is based on our warp drive, right? Yeah, these are our warp drive programs that I had mentioned. This will tell us if there's any viruses affecting our ship. Here's the pilot station. We can change the controls if we want. Since the AI is controlling it, I'll let them do their thing. This basic sensor is actually all over the ship. We have the name of the ship, we have engineering, we have weapons, we have life support, and we have science. And they're rated out of 20, and they get knocked down as we take damage. Our shield, our hull, our reactor's okay. There's our, I believe that's the quantum shield. As long as that is online, that prevents enemies from boarding our ship. They just teleport into the ship if that is knocked offline. Different shields have different thresholds for that. I believe the standard it is if it goes below 75% on the shields, that goes offline. Our O2, that's just how much oxygen is being. This is if we want to manually start messing with missiles, loading things. As soon as we have nuclear devices, we can load it in the chamber. Here's our engineering station on the bridge. This is giving some information on our reactor. We can actually change the maximums on those just by clicking. If we want to control how much the different stations or specific stations can use. Our reactor configuration, if we need to limit some of the functions, we can do that just by turning them off. The jump computer, we can align the ship to the target, or if we need to do a blind jump, just get out of a dangerous situation, we can do that here. Our coolant, as we go, we're going to be using up some coolant. Our fuel capsules are used to make jumps. We can do distress signals, different kinds, set those off. And then another one of those basic screens. Over here, we just have the basic screen. Here we are in weapons. Another one of those basic screens. We have the same nuclear options that we had before. And here, if your personal weapons, so here's my phase pistol. You can have weapons that actually use ammo. You can refill that here. This is where if we had a nuclear device loaded, so chambered, we would actually see representation here, and we could actually flip these switches to be able to arm or launch it. So here our weapons bot is actually in the station for our main turret. It's on top of the ship and can look around, and the pilot will have to work on rotating to make sure that see any targets. And we can zoom in and fire a charging beam with the left mouse. Right mouse we can either click or hold to do different shots as well. Our exits that. We have the tracker missile options that we had up near the captain's chair. Here, weapons, we also can mess with how much power we can allow for those as well. That back to max. We have the different turrets, so laser is on the left. Here's the main one up there. This just shoots a short little beam. Quick to reload, very quick to heat up though as well. And we have the plasma, this is just on the right. Oh. Across the way from the weapons, this is just kind of individual weapons. So we can upgrade our personal weapons here. So like phase pistol, we can put that in here. And once we have some scrap, we can upgrade it. Across the other way, now we go to science, and we have most of the same things. We have sensors, we have virus, we have the computer, the generic one. We do have a medical aid. If you need to get healed up, you can just stand in here. When we get science data or resources, things that we can actually research, we put it here in the atomizer, and then that'll give us it'll break down into some basic elements, and depending on how many of those we have and what samples we've actually put in the atomizer, we'll have different options of things to research. And then the research, it just takes time, and the time is based on the number of jumps that we do. And again, we can mess with how much power is allocated to or allowed to be allocated. So right now, sensors are using as much power as we're letting them. If we want to cut that down, the sensors will be reduced on how much they can do. Across the hall, down. We can go find the captain's quarters. So, nice big bed. Room enough for... Well, probably fit the whole crew on there if we really wanted to. So over here we have a ship's log. That's just telling us everything that's happened. Another basic sensor. Different routes. I'm not sure if those actually change based on anything. And a locker. Take more items. We can put inventory items out. Right now I have 3 out of 30. That's the weight. So here now we can go down to cargo. And this is where if we pick up any space debris or things we can scrap, or any other equipment, like if we have additional modules that we could put on the ship, but maybe we're not at a base where they can actually install the components. We'll be able to see them down here. Another one of those basic ones. And now we're kind of back into an engineering section. This is part of the engine. I believe if we go up here, we will be able to. I think that's the core powering the reactor core powering the ship. So here we have the coolant, the fuel, stress. So if engineering wanted to go off on their own and not be on the bridge, they would be able to come down here, do all the same things they can do on the bridge, and then they also have a few additional options. So emergency core eject, that. Also, if the ship loses all power, you have to come down here to restore it. And that involves these switches, rebooting things, priming things. It's a whole process. Pretty cool. We also, when we scrap items from storage, that will give us these components. It also works like before for the personal weapons, but these are upgrades for the actual ship components. So this will upgrade our reactor. So right now it's level 1. If we bumped it up to level 2, it will increase our max temperature. So how much temperatures it can actually handle, and also the output. So this, it requires 6 scrap. Upgrade. We don't have any. Just started. Our capsule ready. I actually don't know what that does. Core safety toggle. I don't know what that does either. And once we have an extractor installed, and around with it there. So crew quarters. It's just not impressive like the captain's quarter. Over here, we do have the lockers for the individuals, and those work just like the captain's lockers. You can store any inventory items that you don't want to carry on you. Over here, we have life support and the teleporters. So life support doesn't, there's not really much interaction here. Or any. If you need to repair life support, though, this is where you can do that. A little air gun. So this hatch actually brings us up to the bridge. So there's the bridge. Here's this hatch. We had run down this corridor initially in the tour. And this is how we will be teleporting any stations that are in the sector that we're in. All right, so back from the bridge to the very back, we have engineering and the lounge. Here's the lounge. We can play liar's dice if we had other real people here. And then bringing us down. So here's engineering, which we've already shown. Life supporter, teleporter, and crew quarters. So now let's go teleport and get our mission. We want to go to Outpost 448. That is on our star map. That is where we are. And we want to go to the officer pad. Although it doesn't matter. They'll get us to... Hello, officer. This desk is for Outpost 448 Supply Hold and Voyaging Services. Do you have business here, or are you seeking to request an Explorer's Appeal? Explorer's Appeal is a Colonial Union-approved exemption from missions given through long-range comms. Colonial Union crews that specialize in exploration and research can file for this appeal and focus their efforts solely on discovery. Would you like to apply for an appeal? You are now registered for the Explorer's Appeal. You will no longer receive missions through long-range comms, but the command center may require you to complete missions you have already been assigned. After your current duties have been completed, you are free to embark on your expedition. Thank you for your service, and may your voyages bring you much discovery. Together we survive. This desk is for the Colonial Union officer assignment. Due to the recent crises, we've opened jobs to any officers and experienced Colonial Union civilians who are willing to lend their assistance. Completion of these requests will be compensated. Are you looking for work? Yes. Since this will be your first assignment under my direction, I have a low-risk mission prepared for you. One of our cargo transports en route to Sector 0 was overwhelmed by outlaws. From what we've been able to discern, they were targeting the ship's cargo, specifically medical supplies. Reports indicate the outlaw ship was headed towards a planet called Move 7. There's a good chance the medical supplies are being stored in an old terraforming station at that location. We need you and your crew to travel to Move 7, investigate what you can, and bring back these supplies. Thank you for your service. Report back to me when you have retrieved those meds. Safe voyages to you. Together we survive. Fuel capsules. I want to find an extractor. It said we didn't have one, and I believe that's how we grab things floating out in space. It says it's to pull it from abandoned ships. Well, buy it anyway and install ship components. Ship miscellaneous whip. Now we have an extractor. All right. Go ahead, close that, and now 10:31. don't have enough money for it. 263, I have 240. All right, well. Let's see. What's the other one? 1121. Try that one. 231. Not enough. What that said. that's embarrassing. Very loud. Is my health temporarily reduced? Perfect. Back up to all 20s. Good job, engineering bot. Alright, not in range. I do want to repair first, though. Fully repair hull. Alright, so automated trading station. I want to go down and possibly get a different weapon? Scanner is what I want. 4200, don't have that. Thank you for bringing back the meds. However, this appears to be only half of the original supply. The shipping logs you provided seem to specify 2 other locations involved with the Outlaws' activities. We'll have to investigate those places in due time. It is suspicious, however, that this is the third occurrence in which the outlaws targeted solely medical supplies in a Colonial Union transport vessel. At the time, that information was undisclosed to all but a few officers. I'll look into the matter. Regardless, thank you for your assistance. We'll put these supplies to good use.